Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Insight, Part 2. I'm glad you enjoyed the first part of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Insight. You need to watch the first part before we can talk here, otherwise we're not on the same page. For everyone who watched it, let's get started now. So for me, it was like this. I was sitting in the shop. Aaron, you're in for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. A colleague will contact me next week about the trip. I agree and say, great. Knowing I'd be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 14 days was tough. How are you supposed to act? Do you tell your buddies or not? Do you tell your family or not? For me, it was like this. I had my birthday during that time. I was drunk, so I told my sister. Hey, Antje, Teresa. My sister, Teresa, my princess. I said, hey, Antje, I might be on Jouk. And she was like, huh? Are you kidding me? Come on, there's fire here. Come on, get out of here. No, really. So then at some point the lady called because I was always very insecure. I didn't tell my friends at all because the risk was too high. You know, if you say you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, if you miss the chair, your friends will roast you and call you the fool. But then you can say whatever you want. Then they'll always say to you, no matter what you say, yeah, Steven, you ate a booger. And then Steven says, so what? You were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and didn't even make it to the chair. That's why I didn't tell my buddies. Then the call came. Yes, Mr. Troshky, your ride is at such and such a time. Yes, please be there at, shoot me, 12 o'clock, Cologne Central Station. It was summer, late summer, my sister and I. Nice train. RTL doesn't cut corners at month's end either. They only put you in second class. No, you don't have to fly. Anyway, we took the train for 4 hours. And the tension was already there. I grabbed all the newspapers from the store. I read Welt Compact, Bravo, Focus, and Spiegel. I have to say what I can now. The biggest help in the whole advertising millionaire chaos was my sister, because she really managed to calm me down, to help me relax. Even when something happened on the train that I didn't like, she really took care of me. So I just want to say again, thank you so much, Teresa. I really love you endlessly for being there during that time and supporting me so much. And then, right at the entrance of the main train station, was the meeting with all the competitors. A nice lady from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire picked everyone up in a big T4 bus. I was there a few minutes early and went into the Cologne Cathedral. And the Cologne Cathedral is my #1 lucky charm, because it has door knockers in the shape of a lion. And whenever I'm in Cologne and somewhere near the train station, I run to the cathedral and stroke that lion. Because it brought me so much luck, I'm still grateful for that. In any case, it was then straight into the car with BAP and directly to the recording studio. So, you have competitors and their companions on the bus, but you can't tell who's who yet. That's why you start looking around. We had someone like that with us. I would rather, even if you don't believe it, when I'm under pressure and I know something is coming up soon, where well, how should I put it? Where I have to deliver. Yeah, where I have to be in top shape. Because before that, I always reflect. You wouldn't believe it, but then I just sit there. My sister noticed that perfectly again. She noticed it. Okay, the little one, my little brother, just wants to have some peace and quiet first. She just took out her phone, sent some doggy face snaps to her boyfriend or whoever. I don't know. Up front, she kept chatting nonstop. Yeah, I could do that so well too. Hop, 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 bam, man. I thought, are you annoying me? But I realized she's not that bright, since she mixed up the Berlin day and night casting with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. At that point, I was sure, okay, you can handle her easily. Then you get there, and there's this small area with 2 rooms. Men's changing room, women's changing room. Then you go down into the studio. So then you really see who the contestants are. Then you get a studio tour, and there's the warm-up host. That's a young man, and he sits on the Günther Jauch chair, in his spot. Each contestant sits on the chair briefly to experience it and answer a question. And that's when I already checked things out. Okay, there was this chatterbox. The chatterbox was just like that. You figured she'd be better off in Berlin, day and night, or Cologne. Because she's not very bright, but she's an excellent mother I'd like to fuck. Yeah. Contestant 2 was a student which I liked. Hermione Granger. I thought, oh no, that's my competition. That old cow could ruin my dream of getting on the chair. Then we also had an older bus driver, a very nice, pleasant lady who was on the chair for the 3rd time, so in the trip series. because that's how it is. You can always apply with me again. If you reach the top 5 but not the chair, you face a 3-month ban before reapplying. The lady had been there 3 times already. Then there was another person named Koenig. I don't know more. I think he had a record and was there a second time, too. Registration for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire costs €1, and he had already spent more than €500 just registering. I felt a bit sorry for him, but I wasn't too sad because I thought, I want to be in that chair. It's a competition after all. They all started teaming up, which I don't understand. At that moment, you're competitors. I don't want to know. What are you doing here? Good luck. Actually, I want the luck for myself. On the chair, I'm just being honest, but I never expected to end up on the chair. I always kind of thought, oh, look, you're still going nice. Keep going, keep going, keep going, like that. Then I saw this Hermione Granger and thought, oh, crap, she really was that #1 student who was so smart. But that really depressed me. Everyone else just said, this mother I'd like to fuck like that. Yeah, if I win. Boo. Already added the entire auto catalog to the shopping cart. From shoes to dresses. Just need to hit checkout now. Yeah, because she was so sure of herself. The other guy already said, yeah, I'll switch. This person gets this much money. That person gets that much, and so on. It was always like this for me. I just thought, I want to. My biggest problem is, first of all, not to fall over from excitement, and maybe to make it to the chair. Definitely, there was still some time after the study session. I was so damn lucky because my betting round is usually like this. Do you have an overhang candidate, someone from the day before or from a previous show in your show? I was lucky the final Who Wants to Be a Millionaire episode ended with the contestant. Our show began immediately with the first guessing round. Now it gets exciting as the audience takes their seats. Yeah. Did you know that you have to wait a year for audience tickets to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? In any case, that's how you get in. Then there's the warm-up guy who gets the audience going with great jokes a la Loriot. Contestants are introduced like, hey, here's Aaron Troschke from Berlin. How do you even get in there? I don't know anyone. Can't you get the user into the Bolt or something? So, are you in? Yeah, I just sat down. Then I was really in the flow and thought, okay, Gunther will come in soon too. And my goal is, I want to get some attention from Mr. Gunther too. And then the warm-up guy says, hey folks, here is your host, Gunther Jauch. Everyone claps, and I thought, just clap the longest. Then he'll have to react to me, right? And then the others stopped. But I kept going, just like in school when you got an A on a dictation. At one point, the man nudges me and says, man, this won't get you anywhere. I thought, great, I got his attention. He spoke to me, nudged, and smiled. What more could I want? He goes out again, and the show begins. Here is the host, Gunther Jauch. Spotlight bup. Yes, we start. In the studio round, they briefly explain how the terminal works. When Mr. Jauch starts reading the question, the contestants in the guessing round already have everything on their screens, so you don't have to wait. That's how it was for us. The first question was Borussia. First, it was my mistake. Gunther Jauch arrived, and I was so fascinated while the others were already seated, and I thought, oh, Gunther Jauch, nice. And then it was like, Borussia. And then you were supposed to complete it. And I was like, Dortmund, Dortmund, Dortmund. And I was looking for D.O. while typing. Suddenly, I see Mönchengladbach, and I'm like, no. I typed it, no idea I was the last one. The student, of course, made it. Was so happy and everything. She walks to my desk, leans in and says, a man being worse and slower than a woman on a soccer question? You must be a real soccer fan. She walked away with a smile and I thought, you rascal. Then the lady played. Honestly, with each question, I just hoped she'd be wrong because I'd already given up. Now that stupid cow is on it. Yeah, at that point, I thought she was a stupid cow. But then I got lucky. She had used up the lifelines for stupid questions. It happens. It happened to me, too. Then the question was, Stephanie Hoffman, let's just write it simply. Stephanie Hoffman is an artist? Lady Gaga, Adele, Pink, or Lana Del Rey, Pink or Adele? It's definitely Adele. A few days earlier, I had read in the newspaper, no, that's Lana Del Rey. I was like, yeah, she has time. Yeah. Then she uses the extra lifeline, the last one, from the audience. Some hipster guy. Yes, I'm sure. Adele, but serious and arrogant. 500 euros. Come on, Gunny, hand it over. I know it's Adele. Gunny laughs. What I don't get is when someone is on the chair with me, even if they're arrogant. How can you be so know-it-all, arrogant, and stuck up in front of me? It's like when you go to the office and say to yourself, like, I want 2,000 euros net. And, work 3 days a week and, they're a stupid bitch. You can't expect her to be nice to him now. When someone sits with Günther Jauch like that, and she's a bit arrogant, Jauch didn't like her either, thankfully, and you could tell. Anyway, got the question wrong. Bam, she dropped out, cried crocodile tears. Oh, did my heart rejoice? Can't really say, but I was happy in that moment. Yeah, second chance, so then the question. This time I was prepared. Next round. The ladies out, only 3 older competitors remain. MILF gets nothing. The lady who's there for the 3rd time was a school bus driver. Very nice, that's my competitor. Because the king back there still has work to do, cleaning the board. No. So the question was, arrange president, vice, challenger with vice, of course I knew, Obama in 1st place. Somehow I knew it, because I knew it. I had it in my blood. Bam, saw 3-point-something seconds on my end, but then I wasn't so sure if it was correct. I turned to the school bus lady beside me. She did the same, just more slowly. I felt uncertain. I say, hey, psst, are you sure? She says, yeah, I spent the last half year in the United States of America, so I am. Yeah. Faster than you, faster than you, faster than you, with a glance over at the king. But at that moment, it already happened. And the fastest is Aaron Troschke. And I don't know, those who saw it, saw it. I jumped up and screamed. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now, too. And if I start tearing up now, I think we'll have to stop for a moment. I jumped up and hugged Günther, too. I think I was the first one to do it that way. After that, a lot of people copied me, but I don't want to say no, definitely. I jumped up and hugged Günther, too. The craziest thing was, and I always get sentimental about it, my sister screamed so loud. Yeah, when you watch the show, there's this scream. It's actually like an X-Files scream. Someone gets stabbed, but that scream, it's stuck in my head forever. My parents and 2 brothers also watched the show, and even though you couldn't see my sister, everyone heard her scream, even my brother. While watching, my sister screamed so intensely it made our neck hair stand up. It was actually cute. After that, my sister, well, I was really happy because then you always stand next to Günther like that. Cut. Then you get the microphone. And my sister was standing there like a kid whose Pokemon cards had been stolen and was crying. Even today, it warms my heart that she was so happy for me that she cried too. And that's how I got on the chair. And if you want to know about the show now, how everything went on, you have to tell me. If you want to know how the show was and what happened afterwards and how it continued, then unfortunately you'll have to fill up the comments again with Aaron Go. And because my sister is such a sweetheart, if you write Go, Teresa Weil, then I'll bring my sister into the next episode as well. And now you have time to watch part 1. Click there or click below to see my mistake. Keep watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm out.